Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode of the vlog. I somehow don't know if I've covered the Duke Point to Tsawwassen sailing on this vlog. Anyways, that is super duper not what this video is about today. We are heading to Vancouver. Getting to Vancouver is a lot more of a commute for me now since I have moved to Nanaimo very recently. But yeah, that's not what this video is about either, because the reason we are going to Vancouver is we are going to see AC/DC. I hope everybody booked their ferries in advance. I noticed there's like a 2 or 3 sailing wait, which is, I don't know if it's unusual. It's midweek, but this is a huge event. Going to be 50,000-60,000 people at BC Place. Now it is time for us to wait for our ferry. Not this one. We're going on the much larger Queen of Alberni today. Yeah, let's wait for our ferry and do this beautiful crossing over to the show. I just can't believe that I'm seeing AC/DC today. This is going to kick all sorts of ass. Ah, yeah, such a beautiful crossing this is. Leaving Duke Point with some of the industrial side of Nanaimo out there. Beautiful coastlines as far as you can see. The obligatory BC ferries. Vehicle alarms going off. That is a quintessential part of the experience, that it is unavoidable. Yes, I'm doing a lot of yapping right now. This is a travel vlog, of course. I showed you guys the timestamp for when concert footage will start. I'll put it back there again if you don't want to hear me, because yeah, knowing me, I'm going to ramble on a little bit about BC Ferries stuff, and most importantly about the incredible legacy that AC/DC has built over the course of the last over 50 years or so. Speaking of 50 years or so, the Queen of Alberni is celebrating 50 years in service this year. The Alberni is of course reaching the end of its service life. It's going to be replaced in 2029 by one of those brand new Summit class of ships going to come in. Going to be 4 of them delivered in 2029, and this is going to be one of the ships that goes off into retirement. Kind of an odd one, this Queen of Alberni. There are 5 different C-class vessels that BC Ferries continues to use, but the Queen of Alberni here is certainly the odd one out. It was built with only one single car deck. Most of the BC Ferries larger vessels have 2. This one only had 1. It was a majorly overheight car deck for trucks and things of that nature. And it was just sort of an extra ship to sort of keep large trucks off of the busy commuter routes. Actually, this ship had quite a disaster during its first few years of operation. It was on Route 1, which is BC Ferries' route through from Swartz Bay to Tsawwassen, the one that goes through Active Pass, and it collided with one of the reefs, went like almost 45 degrees over as it beached itself on the rocks. It did unfortunately claim the life of a racehorse, but no humans on board were killed. And ever since then, BC Ferries, even though they have 5 of these enormous C-class double-deck ships, they really don't want to run them on that flagship Route 1. So they wind up on these Vancouver to Nanaimo routes often, like this one that we're on now. Yeah, built by Nanaimo Spalding, or designed by Nanaimo Spalding. Again, it was built just as a single car deck boat. You can actually tell it's got a very stout little interior section here compared to the other ships, because it was thought with only the 1 car deck for trucks, they wouldn't need as much interior space, not as many people wandering around, but it didn't really stay a 1 car deck vessel for long. In 1984, this vessel was cut in half lengthwise, and an entire extra car deck was added on, and it sort of became just like all the other ferries, except for it does have more overheight truck capacity than most, so it was a no-brainer for this route. Duke Point to Tsawwassen, slightly longer 2-hour journey from Nanaimo over to Vancouver-ish. It was a no-brainer for that route because they wanted a lot of trucks and overheight vehicles to use this one anyway, to keep from clogging the streets of downtown Nanaimo where Departure Bay is. But I've done enough talking about boats. Like I said, this ship has been sailing for 50 years. I mean, not sailing. There's no sails. You know what I mean. But 50 years ago, when the ship entered service, AC/DC already had a few hundred concerts under their belt. We've headed off from our terminal here, and we're getting a good view now downtown Nanaimo. I'm having such an amazing time living here with my girlfriend Britt. We just moved, of course. Well, it's been a couple months we've gotten settled in, and I've actually filmed a lot more travel vlogs. I'm going to be participating in some form in video every day in September. I don't know if I'm going to get a video done every day next month, but I filmed lots already, so there's definitely going to be a few. But yeah, it goes without saying, AC/DC have been around forever. Founded in 1973. Of course, you all know that if you're watching this video. Angus Young, been in the band the whole time, the legend. We're going to make this trip over across to Vancouver. And as we're walking into the concert, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about AC/DC, and particularly what they've been up to in the last few years, because it hasn't always been smooth sailing, lots of lineup changes, but they are still going strong. I have made it to downtown Vancouver. My first time in person seeing the FIFA design on Science World there. That's very cool. It used to be about a 45-minute drive for me to get downtown. Today, now that I've moved, the commute was more like 4 or 5 hours. It is a hot day. It is a smoggy, smoky day as well. But oh my, I just can't believe the show we're about to see. To say something right now that's going to make me feel very, very old. My first AC/DC concert I got to see was at Rogers Arena, which at the time was called General Motors Place, and it was 18 years ago. It was on the Black Ice Tour, very beginning of the Black Ice Tour. Yes, the Black Ice Tour in 2 years will celebrate its 20th anniversary of having happened. That time sure moves fast, and a lot of things have happened with AC/DC since then. A lot of lineup changes. I'm gonna go through everything that's gone through with them since then. When I saw that show, I was lucky enough to see the original Back in Black lineup. I know that's not the first lineup of AC/DC, but the famous Back in Black lineup, all 5 of them were together for that tour. It was, of course, the last world tour they did together. That tour was insanely long, though. 2 years. It finished in the summer of 2010. And yeah, we didn't know at the time it would be the last time that lineup would ever play together. After that, they entered their usual time off phase. Usually AC/DC takes a few years off at the end of any major touring cycle, not unusual. And I remember being in high school in about 2012 or 2013 and hearing an interview from Brian saying that they loved to make a new album, but someone in the band was ill. As we now know, Malcolm Young had already played his last show with AC/DC. The Black Ice Tour was his last. He got early onset dementia. He was diagnosed with early onset dementia, and he eventually passed away in 2017. The band did reconvene eventually to make a brand new album. And for the Rock or Bust sessions, they used Stevie Young. Stevie Young came in, of course, their cousin, Malcolm and Angus's cousin, to do some guitar parts. It wasn't his first time in AC/DC. He had filled in for Malcolm on the 1988 Blow Up Your Video US tour. And ever since then, he has been the guitarist. So we're going to see Stevie Young today, still in AC/DC after all these years. But yeah, that new lineup of AC/DC made Rock or Bust in 2014. But man, the turmoil was not done with them by a long shot. We all heard the craziest story. I won't get into all the details, but of course, shortly after the release of that album, it was announced that Phil Rudd was Well, he'd gotten himself into some legal trouble, to say the least, and he would not be able to participate on the world tour. So AC/DC actually got Chris Slade in to do that tour. I wish I could have seen that lineup with Chris Slade. They went out on a world tour, Chris Slade on drums, and in mid-2016, in the middle of the tour, without any warning, Brian Johnson just left the tour in the middle of it. Yes, he announced that unfortunately, after all the years of hard rock and loud shows, and I've been told the show is still going to be insanely loud. I should have gotten earplugs, I forgot. In any case, he was going deaf, and his doctors told him if he didn't quit the tour, like, right immediately, he was risking permanent, full deafness. So he left, and AC/DC actually had, of all people, Axl Rose come in and replace him for the rest of the tour. And I absolutely thought AC/DC was done forever, because shortly after that, even Cliff Williams, the band's bassist, announced that at the end of that tour he'd be retired as well. And that pretty much just left Angus. Unbelievable. The whole Back in Black lineup being together 6 years earlier, by 2016, all but Angus had pretty much left. So yeah, I assumed that was the end of AC/DC, that they'd petered out, but I heard a couple years later that the band had come right here to Vancouver to record their next album, which they always do, by the way, for the last like 30 years. When AC/DC wants to record an album, they come right here to Vancouver. In the 90s, they did some recording at Little Mountain Studios here, and in the 2000s to present, they've recorded all their albums at the Warehouse studio owned by Bryan Adams in Gastown. The band was fully back together, complete with Brian Johnson, complete even with Phil Rudd on drums and Cliff Williams on bass. The entire Back in Black lineup, with the exception of the late Malcolm Young, of course, made a new album that was eventually released in 2020. It was called Power Up. That's still AC/DC's most recent album, but of course, due to the year that came out, there was no ability to do any touring. But again, I didn't think AC/DC would have been capable of touring regardless. They didn't really have any stable lineup in which to do tours. But in 2023, I was blown away when they were added to the lineup of the Power Trip Festival down in California. AC/DC was back after 7 years away. Angus was there. Cliff Williams came out of retirement to do the show, and I was blown away that Brian Johnson was there too. Evidently, they'd come up with some inner ear implant or something of that nature, to be able to allow him to do the shows without risking any further damage to his hearing, and he was back able to sort of unretire and come back to AC/DC. That Desert Trip show wound up being Cliff Williams' last show to date, but AC/DC went on a full tour in 2024, an even bigger tour in 2025, and they're just not letting up. It is the summer, of course, of 2026. They're still rocking. Brian Johnson is 78 years young, and he's still performing. Angus Young is a young man of 71 and still performing. And then, of course, filling out the lineup, we have Stevie Young, who I previously mentioned, on rhythm guitar. Matt Laug is in the lineup now. He joined for that Desert Trip show in 2023. And Chris Chaney joined in on bass to start the tour in 2024. That's the lineup we're about to see. Let's go in. I think the Pretty Reckless are about to start or have already. We might miss the very beginning of that. Yes, it is the Pretty Reckless opening tonight. Really just a big deal. I don't know too much about them or their songs. I know they're one or two big hits, but quite the lineup. But I, along with lots of people here, are just buzzing that AC/DC is in town. Let's go in. Let's check it out. Let's check out the setup. my hearing because that was the loudest opening act I've ever seen. Yeah, this show is going to be ear-shattering. And the wall of amps has been unveiled. This is legendary. And it's bringing me back to when I was 12 years old and I was impatiently waiting through the opening act and then the break in between for AC/DC to come out. When I was a kid, there were only two bands in the world that mattered. Those were Kiss and AC/DC. I've seen Kiss lots of times, again AC/DC once, but you never know when the last chance is going to be. Let's sit back and enjoy the show.
Stupid. I could have told you we'd be back. So that's good to see you again. We're going to do the same as last time. We're going to make some rock and roll, have some fun, and have a party. Let's go!
Thank you.